Is Akira Toriyama catering to the fans of Gohan? Will he perform maintenance on Gohan's character development? Let's talk about it. Cue the intro.
Mass madness, you maniac! We're in a lot of trouble!
What's up guys, this is your boy Random Black Gamer hitting you up with another Dragon Ball Super video. Today's topic revolves around a huge fan fave, definitely one of mine's, Gohan. Since the beginning of DB Super, we've all been wondering what the future has in store for him. Now that Battle of Gods and Resurrection F have been expanded upon and are officially over, we have around 80 episodes to get down to the savory parts of the story. We finally get to see just how much Toriyama has grown as a mangaka. If any of my fellow DBZ heads have been keeping up with the manga, you have a lot to be excited about. In less than 24 hours, we've received an overabundance of info, from the newly announced Project Fusion title that's being released on a 3DS to the leaked chapter of Dragon Ball manga. I gotta admit, going into Dragon Ball Super felt more like a lukewarm myriad side story than a full-fledged series. Rewatching the movie arcs episodically felt more like watching trailers in a movie theater, and redundancy set in fast with some of the poorly animated episodes. I mean, fleshing out the movie arc sounded good on paper, but it suffered greatly in its execution, but that's a rant for another day. In my previous video, I talked about the participants in the Universe 6 tournament, one of them which was Piccolo. I had originally intended to do a theory video on Majin Buu's role in the tournament, but thanks to chapter 8 of the manga, things have drastically changed. There has been word that there was a test consisting of 10 questions in the tournament, and in order for the Z Warriors to qualify, they would have to have at least a score of 50%. Majin Buu just so happened to fail the test, not even getting close to getting one answer correctly, not even his name. So that brings the Universe's 7 participants down to 4 before the official tournament. It was forementioned earlier that Gohan was a valuable candidate for the tournament, but since he seems to be stuck in that gray area of slice of life, Goku vouched for Piccolo instead. So it had seemed like we weren't going to see anything from Gohan for a while, and to tell you the truth, I was sort of happy. I was tired of seeing my favorite character waste up screen time. What's the point of being there if you weren't going to show up and participate in an intergalactic showdown? I mean, I miss the old Gohan, but the old has been overshadowed by the newer, weaker one. He's been around for a while and we've gotten quite used to him, and you know how the old saying goes, it's hard to miss someone if they never went away. But this new lackluster Gohan is a good thing because this gives Toriyama the chance to sort of showcase his genius and rebuild Gohan from the ground up. In a sense, this Gohan isn't any different from the Gohan we met in episode 1 all the way to the end of the Saiyan saga. He may be a more experienced fighter, but his lack of confidence in his abilities hinders him from getting the job done just as it did when he was younger. I kind of feel like Toriyama Sensei is strumming some of the same notes. In the later episodes of the Resurrection of F arc, after Frieza destroyed the Earth, we saw a more up-close and personal look of the devastation. In the movie, the characters don't really elaborate on how they felt about it since the situation got resolved in the typical DBZ movie fashion. But in the show, it feels more organic because Gohan actually feels a little guilt since he wasn't up to par to protect the ones he cares for. He literally had to watch his wife and newborn child die. That and the death of Piccolo became his newly found motivation to not let his gifts go to waste. If you've been keeping up with the series, in episode 27, Gohan asks Piccolo to consider training him again, and Piccolo gladly accepts to take on that teacher role yet again. This feels like a callback to the old days of DBZ. And considering the fact that Gohan wants to get back into the fight, what will his role be in the Universe 6 arc? It's weird because in the manga, when Beerus was asking about the Universe 7 participants, Goku mentioned that Gohan wasn't interested in fighting, was more interested in investing time as a family man and his studies. This was way after the Resurrection of F arc. So was this conversation Gohan had with Piccolo about training a secret? It sure does seem that way. Since Majin Buu has been dropped from the tournament, leaving the Z Warriors one fighter short, who will take the spot? Now I know a lot of fans are thinking that it won't make a difference if Gohan trains under Piccolo, considering how weak he is compared to Vegeta and Goku, and even Gohan himself. But keep in mind that it isn't just Piccolo's physical prowess that makes him special, it's his intellect that gives him his edge. As I mentioned in my previous video, he possesses the mind of Kami, and his knowledge of the universe is somewhat encyclopedic. He knew who the Supreme Kai was when nobody else did it. And in the latest chapter of the manga, it's mentioned that Piccolo could sense the good in Universe 6's Warrior Frost, who looks very similar to Frieza. Even Dende could sense and distinguish what God energy was. So I think it's safe to say that Piccolo has some secrets stashed away that'll aid Gohan in the future. What's interesting is what special moves will they learn. As we all know, most of the moves in Gohan's repertoire were taught by Piccolo with the exception of the Kamehameha wave and a few others. Just what if he taught Gohan some of his more signature moves such as the Special Beam Cannon or his Hell Zone grenade attack? If they're devastating at the hands of Piccolo, I can only imagine what they would be like in the hands of Gohan. The major thing I'm wondering about is what will become of his forms later down in the series. There seems to be a formulaic disruption going on with that because we don't know how far he can go as far as going Super Saiyan is concerned, and we haven't really seen his mystic powers in action. Can those transformations further be enhanced, and does he wield the ability to potentially become a god? Maybe the absence of his ultimate power will make it increase after it's been released after so many years. I for one would love to see what it would be like if he were to mix God Ki with his Mystic Ki. I mean, with his mixed human abilities, the reaction to that power may be more devastating than Goku's, like it was when he transformed into Super Saiyan 2 for the first time. But anyways, that's all I have for you guys today. What do you think? Do you think that Gohan will have his rightful place in the Universe 6 tournament, or will he continue to sit on the bleachers away from the battle zone? Leave your thoughts in the comment section below, and don't forget to like or dislike the video. This is your boy RBG, aka the Random Black Gamer, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.